Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at replacing your valve cover gasket. This is a 2002 Toyota Camry with a 4-cylinder. Let's check it out. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is you're going to remove 1, 2 10mm bolts, and then you're going to pick up on it, and it's stuck on here, so it's going to pop out. It's just going to go pop, and then we'll set our plastic valve cover off to the side. And then we have your ignition coils. Go ahead, there's a 10mm bolt you need to take off, but disconnect it first. It's a little squeeze, pull, and then take your 10 off, and then we'll just go ahead and pull him out of the way. Set them off to the side in order, so that way you can put them back where they came. I believe we can leave our spark plugs in there. Next, we have a 10mm here, a 10mm here, and a 10mm here. I took that off so we can kind of get him out of our way, and we'll be able to clear this guy when we go to take the valve cover off. And then we have a total of 10. There'll be like maybe 4 on this side, 4 on the back side, fasteners holding this valve cover on, and then you've got 2 here. All the bolts on the outside are the same length. The 2 in here are a different length, and then you have the 2 nuts right there. So we'll get all that off, and then we will be able to remove our valve cover, and we'll look at the valve cover gasket. Oh, also, this hose right here, just take a pair of pliers, pull your hose off, and we'll see that in a minute. Okay guys, and here we are. I've almost got them off. Also, I almost forgot to mention this little hose right back here. Just kind of squeeze and then pull. And now the best method I found was to kind of grab up on this guy, and then it's going to want to get hung up on this wire right here, so just make sure you get this around that, and then you'll be able to kind of pull up, come over here and pull them up, and just kind of work them off and out that way. Also, the way I went about getting this valve cover off is I just kind of came right here, just kind of pried up a little bit, and then came around the back on this side right there. Camera focus, it's not focusing. Okay, there we go. And just kind of pried up on that side, and that's how I was able to initially get this guy kind of up and off there. Okay guys, and here we are with the valve cover off. This one, there's like parts of the gasket missing. It is a severe bad valve cover gasket. There was a crack right here, which would have caused problems. Once you saw how I had it kind of up, you're gonna come over here with both hands and just kind of work this corner around this piece right here and get it out. Just be careful not to pull too hard on this wire. And that's how I was able to get it all the way off. As far as everything going back on, just make sure you take this guy off, clean everything real well, put the new gasket on the way the old one came off. And then one thing that's kind of debated is using RTV. Some mechanics say put RTV on everything. In school they said a gasket is a gasket, RTV is a gasket in and of itself. Don't use them together. My personal opinion on this one, if it's flat like it is, just go ahead and put the gasket on. Some cylinder heads, they got like curves coming up and down, like on the Hondas. Around the curves and the corners, I usually put a little bit of RTV. That's just my opinion on it. So do whatever you got to do. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you then. Last thing that's important is the way you tighten it. You're going to want to tighten it in order. And the way I went is you're going to want to kind of go from the middle outwards. Because when you tighten it down, it's important that you don't go like all the way on this side, because it can just make the gasket sit wrong. So what I would do is I went here, just kind of barely snugged it, here 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 barely snugged it, here, here. You get the point. Just kind of work your way from the middle to out. And then once you just kind of barely snug it, then you're going to go around and just begin to snug it again. So then really snug it, really snug it, really snug it, really snug it, and just work your way around. So if you do it that way, the gasket will sit correctly. So keep that in mind when you're putting it back together.